Alrighty, welcome back guys to a video for, or another video for the channel, and this is going to be for Ready or Not. Really cool game. I've been messing around with it for a little bit, testing out all the new weapons as well as the old ones, and trying to just, play the console edition for a good while. And right now I want to cover over one of the newer guns in the game, covered with the DLC of the Stories of Los Sueños, I believe or Lost Stories is Los Sueños. And with that, it comes the 590M shotgun, which actually has a detachable magazine, which is really cool. The launchers, which you have flash and gas, so technically both non-lethal. I think a direct impact with the grenade might be lethal, kind of similar to a direct headshot with the beanbag shotgun will result in the lethal action. And I believe there was something else that was alongside it, probably new secondary. I think that was with the the new secondary, two new secondary. So you had the Mark V, which is a 50 AE or a 50 AE express round, like a 1911 style kind of handgun with its own custom sight, which is honestly like it's semi-automatic primary. It punches through anything in a game. You also got yourself a non-lethal pepper ball handgun, which takes a few more shots than the SMG or the rifle version does. But going to this one, I want to be showing and showcasing the the 590M shotgun detachable magazine. Now we have a few of them here. So 5 lethal ones, technically 1 non-lethal one for the beanbag shotgun you can use, and it's not too bad. The one thing about the 590 shotgun, one of the limitations to this, is going to be the fact that it is pump action. Now there are 2 shotguns, I believe, essentially the Benelli, everyone's favorite. Already riddled this thing out here, but the Benelli and one other shotgun model that I've seen before. You guys probably seen it on like Rainbow Six Siege or something, but so that's about as fast as the fire rate will go. What's cool about this shotgun though, there's a few things that you can use, which all really comes down to the magazine primarily. But it makes it to where there's a few conveniences that make it to where it's a little bit easier to use and like a little bit of quality of life just from that magazine alone. And I'll showcasing that first with the difference between this and a normal tube-fed shotgun. Let's try the B1301. This is the shotgun I'm talking about, the one that you guys probably see from Rainbow Six. I think like Doc and Rook have it. But you have this shotgun on here. One thing to note is obviously this one's semi-automatic, but that's not what I'll be looking at here. But every time you inspect the ammo counter, that's by holding square. I think it's X for Xbox and R for console, or for PC, I mean. When you check it, it'll show you that little shell icon near the bottom where the port is that you're able to load it in through, or the receiver there, which is not bad at all. But it's also that little white shell there. You can also like blast a few times. I'll fire out 4 rounds, and now when I look at it, that shell is halfway empty. So that's kind of your indicator. Kind of treat that as like a magazine icon to kind of give an idea on how many rounds left. So I fired about 4 out of there, and through that will go ahead and have the other half that's still there. So what's interesting though is that if I go to my shotgun and I go to my magazines, and I have buckshot for just 1. So every time, at first I thought every one of these would just be 1 shell, or each one individual shell. Obviously that is not the case. That will count as 1 full set of 12 gauge shells stack up the entire tube. So it's one thing that they didn't really completely explain through the game there, but that's how that works. So I want to go ahead and put down 2 though. So they give you this example here. So I'm going to pull out my handgun. So this thing uses a normal magazine, and when I use an actual indicator, you can see that at the bottom of the screen, it'll show my 3 magazines at the bottom, as well as the one that is live inside my handgun that's following the magazine itself. So I follow back out, fire off a few rounds, pull out the magazine. You can see not only at the indicator at the bottom, but also the one that follows the magazine is halfway empty. Same story. So what's really interesting though is for tube-fed shotguns, no matter how many magazines I have, or magazines quote unquote, it will only show 1 buckshot at the bottom that I have, plus the one right there, which is very interesting to have there. However, I can go back to my normal shotgun right here, or my normal shotgun, my pump action, and I can actually look at the magazines again a little bit differently, and now it shows 2 buckshot right there, so you can see at the bottom. So as you've seen right there, like at the actual magazine, one of the actual, I want to refer to them as magazines, but every single shell or set of a full reload you get for the shotguns here has just 1 slot that'll actually show at the bottom for the one that you have in total, plus the one that you already have inside your firearm at a given time. And as you can see, for the ones that were tube fed, you only got the one that's inside your shotgun, and you cannot see any of your spare sets, which makes sense, I guess. But this thing does have a actual detachable magazine to it, so your guy can actually carry around and check the other magazines at a time. So instead of just showing that one set of the shell inside your shotgun, it'll show both of them in the magazine set at the bottom, even showing buckshot down there, which is really handy if you want to check how many rounds you have in total. And that's a really long breakdown just to show that one mechanic to there, but you can also use that and also swap between buckshot, and you can also do slug, and you can look at the entire thing. So you got buckshot, you got slug right there. You can also change what kind of ammo type you're using by holding L1 or top left bumper, and you go down to ammo type, and you can always have at least 2 different versions of it for all the firearms as of right now. And you can go to slug right here. Same story. Slugs just going straight through there. That's a really cool indicator, and that's what one of the benefits you can get for the magazine that you're able to use. And you can also speed load it. So unlike normal shotguns, you have to individually load 1 round in at a time, which is okay if you're only handling like 1 enemy at a time, and which is fine. Normally you'll run into that through casual and standard difficulty, but if you want to actually bump it up a notch and get a real challenge, go to the hard mode. And normally sometimes you'll be running into enemies that actually group up together a little bit more, so you have to rapidly fire off a bunch of shells. You might not have enough time to load in another shell, since enemies will be trying to flank you and push your position. So you gotta keep in mind for those kind of situations. So what's cool about this shotgun is that I can actually completely just dispense an entire magazine if I need to. And I want to load up more spare mags for this, just to showcase that. So, I mean, like, here we go, like, in the game, you have 2 different reloads. You can just press square. I know it looks really violent right there. I don't know why it doesn't show it exactly, but every time you just press square normally, your guy will pull out a magazine and keep the magazine with him and reload another one. So you can keep whatever was left in your previous magazine. When you double tap square, double tap X, gets double tap R for PC there, you will completely drop the magazine entirely, which is right there. You can also pick up magazines, by the way, the ones that you dispensed on accident. You can always pick that up, which is really neat and cool. That's an awesome detail people miss. But if you do that, you can drop a magazine and reload an entire new one with all your shells back in it within no time. Compared to a shotgun that is two-fed, I think this is the only exception to that entire mechanic. I don't know. I think there might be a bolt-action rifle that might come around later on. Might have the same situation. But I can only fire once and reload a shell. And that's just by pushing square. If I fire again, I double tap square. It does the exact same thing. So no matter what, you can always reload at like one shell at a time with the two-fed ones. So you don't need to waste any kind of ammo. And that'll just do its one quick reload right there for one shell. Or you can have the trade-off for the 590 the 590M shotgun and be able to reload all your rounds, but you can also possibly just remove the ones that you already had inside your magazine. But honestly, I think that is a very flexible mechanic for like a trade-off in, let's say, fire rate for your shotgun, or something that's already integrated, like the 870 CQB that has an integrated laser sight to it. Things like that. So all these shotguns have like little small details, and that is what this shotgun pretty much covers and how it separates itself from the rest. Honestly, I think I actually use this far more often. It's just your standard pump action shotgun. Already over half of them are using the exact same fire mechanics, so I don't really see why you would want to use the other two-fed ones when you can use this, but I guess it comes down to personal preference. So there you guys go. That's essentially the 590M shotgun for the newest DLC for Ready or Not. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments. I will be covering the other firearms that came out with the newest DLC after this, so just be ready to be seeing those coming out shortly after. Again, let me know what you guys think about it. I'll see y'all in the next one.